because I personally, I'm with somebody. We've been together for like 3 years now.
I'm 5.
Right, see? And I don't find the only reason some girls are too loud and too fake is because that's how men want them to be, if you understand. So when you see some girls that are too loud, it's because there's boys that hurt them so much, they need to open their mouth. Do you know what I mean? I personally haven't gone through that, but there's some girls that have gone through the guys cheating every 2 minutes, and because she doesn't open her mouth, it keeps going on. So now she's opened her mouth, these guys are getting irritated, do you know what I mean? And with the fakeness, I don't know why, because they see it on the TV, America, everyone's fake.
No, when they say with America, when they see the girls with the big bums, fake asses,
Right.
they're loving that. But when the English girl come with their eyelashes, it's a big problem.
Yeah, that's what it is, because they're trying to be something that they're not. They're trying to be in America when you're living in England, in London. You don't need to be doing that. Like me personally, as you can, okay, not her, but me personally, as you can see, I'm not into that. I'm me.
Yeah, I love my weave. My hair's long. My hair's barely as long as my weave, but it's easier to manage, and I can deal with my weave, yeah? I can deal with my hair too, but I prefer my weave.
But with the rape thing, I just think it's like, it's sex is easy to get. It's easy to get.
So how a woman carries herself,
yeah.
You'll see girls in certain outfits, and you're gonna talk to a man a certain way, and I'm gonna think, alright, she's easy. But when you try to come onto her and try to be defensive, they're thinking, what? You like a fucking hoe anyways. So just take it, basically.
Basically, yeah. And then, but some of the guys, they start to do rape because their friend told them to. It's a nice little idea when you're sitting there bunning your spliff, you're sitting there thinking, oh, it'd be nice to have this gal. So when she says no, you're still gonna do it anyway because you're some next planet, you're high.
Some
you know what I mean?
fools. Yeah.
Like, you're being dumb now. So when you rape the girl, you're gonna see her on the road the next day and be like, hi. Like, no, like.
The thing is, that's why like some relationships love might not last long because some girls are in a hype stuff like with us. Yeah, we in like been in a relationship for 5 years. We've had problems with our boys, not cheating, but like arguments and everything. It's like little arguments.
I just think what it is, you need to know if you're gonna be in love, know who's seasonal and who's for life. That's what it is really.
Yeah.
The first statement, I believe that black women are made to feel unconfident about themselves and the way they look. I think maybe the loudness is attention, like they're seeking attention. And like fake, we watch a lot of stuff on the media. Girls wearing long weaves, and we all want to be like that. We want to be pretty and we want to please our men and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It could be they haven't had a real man to show them because maybe the men are always looking elsewhere. So I don't know. It's so much. It's a lot.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
I think there are a lot of lost sisters. There are a lot of women that feel like they need to fall into the and fit in. So even their behaviour, they hide their blackness. They're not pro. I'm not saying you have to come out kind of fighting. You don't have to be a Winnie Mandela, but at the same time, they do need to feel pride in who they are, but at the same time, there is nothing out there that's giving us a sense of pride, that's telling us we're beautiful. There's products, everything shows us with straight hair, and nobody empowers our black hair. If I walk out with my afro, it's a statement. How am I making a statement when I was born this way?
Thank you.
Like I said, I was shocked. My friend moved to Saudi Arabia and she sent me a video of a supermarket, and there was every single nappy had a black baby on it. In England, you can't. There's no merchandise or advertising that. So we don't identify ourselves with being the majority or being celebrated. So I do think there is the question if we didn't live here and we were back in Africa or in our countries, would we feel that kind of displacement or uncomfortable? But then the pressure over there from the media is even worse.
What comment sticks out most? That causes a bit of chaos in the mind.
The white woman and black man thing. I don't discriminate against interracial relationships. My father's mixed, but Me personally, I wouldn't engage in an interracial relationship. I feel like the power needs to stay, the unit needs to stay powerful. The teaching, we need to pass down to our children how powerful we are, what we have to offer. And I don't feel like a white man could teach my children that message. The over-sexualized music, I think it's part of a bigger plan. So it's all part of the brainwashing. They want us to feel, look, and behave a certain way. Even the education system, it's all read and regurgitate. They don't teach you how to educate yourself. They don't teach you how to gain more knowledge and kind of how to bring that knowledge into your existing life. They don't teach you that. They teach you how to get through an exam and say, I've got a piece of paper that got me through that.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I think that's part of a bigger picture. Music is part of the bigger picture, and it starts from schooling and what the TV companies allow us to see and hear and things like that. Because there's people out there making inspirational music, and we don't see it. We don't. We have to search. It's not put in front of us. And like I said, the school teaches us to just literally take what we're given and put it back out. So we're not looking for that inspiration. They're not creating minds that hunger for it. So, yeah. They touched on it a lot in there, but education is all about education, and it's not just literally textbook. It's like they said, loving yourself, understanding your culture, your beginnings, and wanting to further you, not just kind of go
people
along
around
with
you.
that. Yeah.
But I just it's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big
Yeah.
to even try and go into it.
Definitely. This is why we're catching different opinions.
It's too big to even try and go into it. I think it's big, and we need to start from the bottom and work back up, because
And
right
what do you
now
think the bottom?
the bottom is our own personal history. We need to re-educate ourselves, and education is lacking. Education is lacking, and I do believe that we're not respecting ourselves. And if we're not respecting ourselves, when we get into a relationship like black boy, white, black girl, how are you respecting each other if you don't respect yourselves individually? You have to love yourself before you can love someone else. That's how it works. But right now, we're too busy hating each other. And when you're bringing hate into a relationship, it's all going to be based on hate. And marriage doesn't even exist in our community anymore. It doesn't exist. Where's marriage? Where is the marriage? You know? So we need to start from the bottom and build back up again.
Thank you very much.
This is what I see, and I'm not the only one. Has my truth about females been distorted? Does love live here? This is the way it's supposed to be.
So, what do you think?
What do I think? I believe that black girls have got a warped view in general nowadays. They believe to make themselves beautiful, they have to make themselves look more European anyway. With the weaves that are down here, I wear nail extensions too, but the nail extensions, the eyelashes, all the makeup, apparently it makes us more beautiful. I'm currently growing out my relaxer because I want to be more natural. And right now, I work with youth, so I'm a connections intensive personal advisor. And what I want to do is work more within my community to strengthen us, because I feel like we are lost. Women and boys, yeah? We're all lost. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we're from. We grow up in single parent backgrounds, you know? We've experienced a lot in our environments, you know, and it's affected us. And we don't know who we are. So sometimes what we do is we look to other people, like celebrities like Rihanna, and, you know, listen to Bashment, and we sort of conform to that. And I think it's about starting to understand who we are again and building ourselves back up.
Thank you so much.
Yeah?
Don't record it yet.
Do you want me to see?
Right about being politically
The
correct.
first statement,
Yeah.
I believe that that's what most guys think. They literally think black girls are crazy. Like, no, they do. They really think that we're crazy, we're loud, we be rude for no reason. But there's always a reason. They're just too stupid to understand. That's all it is. And then.
So you disagree with that statement?
Yeah.
You don't think they're loud?
No, I don't think they're loud unnecessarily. Obviously, there are some people who are just generally loud and that's their personality. But I don't think that all black women are just loud because they're loud.
So, some underlying reasons.
Yeah.
Are there some underlying reasons?
There's always a reason for a white woman
And
to go
what do you
speak
think
up.
some of those reasons are?
I don't know. It depends on what the man's done.
What's your
Yeah.
reason for speaking up?
It depends on what my guy's done.
Yeah.
If he's done something wrong and I've let it go, and he's done it again.
What if he does something right? Do you speak up?
If
Still?
he's done something right, you have to let him know that he's done something right too. I don't need to shout about it, but yeah, you did that right.
Okay.
Yeah. And the fact that guys don't really hold a girl's
Yeah,
hand.
so we don't really see this.
No, it doesn't really happen. No.
Yeah, and
'Cause
why do you think that is?
the way, yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't
so
happen. I think it's
show
just the way
perfection.
that guys are now these days.
Is it something we should
it's not a
accept?
cool thing. No.
It's not
No,
cool.
We should
'cause
challenge
I say,
it?
hold my hand.
Okay.
Yeah, that's always my thing. Then it's like, oh, I don't hold anyone's hand.
And how do you
That's
feel?
the
How
last
do you
thing.
how do you feel about it as a female? Because
My partner holds my hand, so I'm of the older generation, so I don't really experience this sort of stuff. So that's why I kind of stepped out of it.
Guys are too
no,
cool
but
to do
it's
it.
I mean it's because I mean it would be great to sort of like have your opinion and see what you think. Maybe say if you consider yourself to be a slightly older generation to the younger one.
She's an older generation.
Yeah, well, you know, so it'll be great to sort of like have that opinion and say, okay, maybe having been there, is there something wrong that's being done? Is there something that could be changed? Do you know what I mean? It's just from your
It's just
perspective.
society, isn't it? It's the way that, I don't know how to put it. Like I said, it's like it's not cool to the black society to do things like hold hands in public or show affection in public, so they're not going to do it. I guarantee you, if we walk down Harlesden now and we saw 10 black guys holding his girlfriend's hand, we'll see 20 by next week, because it's now becoming the norm. But because it's abnormal to the youth of today, they won't do it.
So it still comes. So is it an attitude?
Yeah, it's
in a way,
definitely
and a
attitude.
reputation.
Yeah, it's rep. It's all about your reputation, isn't it?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
And it started now, so. Do you mind if I ask you your name? This is just for our research.
Sure. My name's Simone, aka Sim Simmer.
Okay. Ooh.
Want me to read it out loud?
Yeah, you can read it. Yeah.
Oh.
It's
You're filming
Just your
me?
opinions.
Just-
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah, but
Oh, right.
don't worry so much about the
Okay,
camera.
okay.
It's
I'm
not
like-
gonna get out there.
Okay.
Because I pressed it already, so I thought I'd just
Right.
continue.
Yeah, just keep it one file.
Okay. So what do you want to know what I think about it?
Yeah, so we just want your view, your opinion, you know, from a female's perspective.
Okay.
Do you think there is a problem? What is the problem?
I do think there is a problem.
Yeah.
What the problem is, I do think it's more of a culture thing, more of a hair thing. I just got married, so it took me 15 years to get married with the same person. I do think it's part of growing up and knowing yourself as well, because when you're young, you don't know yourself, let alone to know yourself and know someone else and put your trust and your future into that person's hands. So I do think it's a lot of that. I do think a lot of us are too young to even know ourselves or be secure or confident enough of ourselves to jump in a relationship and confidently hold hands with that person and feel confident like this is the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Because a lot of us, as I said, it's hard. The society we're in now, it's hard for us to even get to know ourselves.
Do you
Yeah.
do you think there is something that can be done to sort of
Definitely.
and
More people
what
like
are those
me.
steps?
No, seriously, more people like me that are in a relationship. Like I'm speaking from experience. I had 2 children, fortunately with the same person, quite young. Like I was in my early 20s, maybe 20. But during our relationship, we went through a lot of trouble. Like we went through all trouble you could ever think of in a relationship can have. But we managed to stick it through for our kids.
Yeah.
So I think my problem, or our problem, was we didn't know ourselves well enough. We didn't know what we wanted. And you only get that through experience and knowledge and learning. Yeah.
So would you say, is there a lack of role models that the young people can sort of like look up to?
Definitely, yes, most
agree with that?
definitely, 100%. I want more.
Is there any comment that particularly stands out on here that makes you, you know, feel some type of way?
What's this about? Every time I visit Brent Cross or Oxford Street, I rarely see a black brother holding the hand of his black girl, but
What does that
it's
statement
about the hands of
say?
a white woman.
Yeah, so how do you interpret that? How do you think about that?
I think this is not like, I think this is more aiming at an individual in terms of like, when you say a black man, do you mean a normal, like a black working man or a black street man? Because I think that's what it is. I think that's the difference.
So you think there's
I think the
two
more
different
street men, it's not that they don't want a black woman or they want a white woman. I just think their pairs and the way their lifestyle is, they don't want that. They want to be seen as, I've got 10 gal or more gal. Where you have men that are not so into that could also be men, but again, they're in a different, complete circle to that. So I think it's more of a stereotype and more of
reputation.
It's like the circles you're in, and I just think that's, I mean.
So the love is there for the
I think
sisters.
the love is there, of course it's there.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Who doesn't want to be loved and who don't want to love?
True.
Do you get what I mean? So of course it's there. It's just that we have to find ourselves to find it.
Wow.
So that's what it is.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. What you believe? Yes.
No, I believe that's very true.
This is very true.
Black sisters have lost the plot. They do need to start wearing their hair naturally. Black boys and men actually need to play a big part in that. They need to be standing up, doing things with the youth, or else it ain't never gonna change.
Thank you very much.
That's cool.
Okay.
Do I have to look at the camera?
You can look at me if you want.
Alright. I don't really agree with everything that you said. I mean, I do think that we need to embrace our hair, like, you know? Are you natural as well?
Yeah.
Because I'm going natural. I think we're sending the wrong message, really. I think we're sort of making black men see and young black men see straight hair, when really they should be seeing the hair that we bought. So, anyway.
Do you think that plays a big part then?
Well, I think it's making them go for a different type of look, and in a different type of look, they're going for a different type of person, different type of female.
Okay.
I think to say that we're loud, yeah, we can be loud. I think we're confident. I think we're more confident than most other races. So I think the confidence, our assertion is confused for aggression. Most other races are sort of like submissive, so and passive. So I think maybe we need to use it a little bit more positive. Just sort of learn how to say things in a different way. Yeah.
Okay.
But apart from that, I think it's society. It's what we see on the TV and stuff. Rihanna, I like Rihanna. Sorry, it's her image. The music is over sexualized. Yeah. It is, you know. No, for real, it is. But
what can you do?
Sex is always going to be big in life. Sorry, I don't think music's going to really make too much of a difference. But yeah, for growing kids, I think it's down to the parents, that part of it.
Okay.
That's about it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I believe why most of black women put up with what they do put up with from men is because they believe that they can't do better when we can do a lot better and we can do for ourselves as well. I believe that they need to stop putting up with foolishness, stupidness, and put their foot down basically, and men will stop taking the mickey.
There we go.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
Okay.
So, sisters, after reading the statement, what's your views and opinions on it? Look up here.
To be honest, when it comes to the first point that you've made here about women, I'm not going to specify if black or white, but they've lost the plot and they're too fake, and and don't know what a view of a real man is based on maybe the way they've brought up from their father. I disagree, because my father hasn't been around. I'm not black, I'm white, I'm Italian. My dad hasn't been around, but yet I feel like I know what I'm doing with men. No one needs to tell me what's right from wrong. I know what's wrong and I know what's right. So if a man's going to treat me in a way, like, that's just me. I'm not stupid. Do you know what I mean? It's like if somebody, like, I don't know about your father and your situation, but if obviously, I just wouldn't agree with the first statement anyway. With that, we're too loud and too fake and don't know what view a man is.
I think with regards to the first one about women being too loud and black women even, it's a bit hard because based on the fact of race, people tend to care too much about it. It's not important. We're all humans, and that's the main thing. Exactly. People need to get treated exactly the same. It shouldn't matter whether it's, because at the end of the day, I'm mixed race. I've got white mum, black dad. At the end of the day, they've made me, I'm happy with how I look. I'm happy with, I wouldn't change anything. I think that the media and celebrities and so on, they kind of make a certain way for people to have to look, which kind of makes most probably black sisters or white or whatever race seem to try and be that, which might make them seem loud, might make them seem like they're searching for attention. It might make them look that way, but necessarily not really. They're just trying to, you're giving attention to that kind of look. If you're giving attention to a loud, fake and so on, they're going to be loud, fake and so on, because that's what you're looking for, if that kind of makes sense. So, yeah.
So in your opinion, are a lot of your peers, a lot of people your age group, a lot of sisters your age group, are they having long-lasting relationships? Do you see that?
Yeah, I see that. I see that a lot. And it's a lot of mixed. I find that Muslim and Christian relationship that I've had, my friends are married, my friends have children, and, my friend's black, her partner's from Iraq. They're married, they've been together for the last 4 or 5 years, they've got a child together. Doesn't mean anything.
I think you get the random few that do want relationships, and especially from young ages, some people like to have it traditional where it's from young all the way till so on. Even I would like that personally, but there are a lot of people that don't even want a relationship. I think some people prefer to just have sexual affairs. Some people can't stick with one person for whatever reason that might be. But I do think the majority may want that. I don't know if that's man or women, but I do think the majority would like that.
And what would you say is the reason why they're not wanting something solid, a commitment?
Because I believe it's not being promoted as much anymore, relationships. I think flings and so on are not more now being promoted as the next trend, if that kind of makes sense. You get the odd few that don't really follow everything, but then the majority do.
And then when you see that your father hasn't been there for your mother, and as a woman anyway, like, I feel like when I'm in a relationship, I want to respect, I want love, I want honesty, and I find that a lot of men nowadays, they forget about that we will be the mother of their children, will be, in their eyes, that woman, to that, the same person that's basically brought into this world, a woman. End of the day, regardless how you want to put it, we're women. And some men treat us like dogs.
100%, and I agree. Just to defend the man's side on as well, women have started to become worse as in itself. They kind of help the man to become who he is.
We don't.
If you're going to sit there and open up your legs to anybody, and you're going to let it be there on the plate, the man's going to take it. Not saying that the man shouldn't have a conscience of his own to be able to sit there and say no.
Girls need to know their values. That's what I think. They need to know their values, and they need to reflect that when they meet a man, and not just get lost into the whole what looks good, what sounds good business, but what's good for yourself. And it's not about fashion anymore. It's not, because at the end of the day, it's life. When you have children and the person you've had a child with leaves you, and your child is brought up with no father, then you're in a situation that, that kid's life can be possibly affected, and it's all because of you're stupid, you made dumb choices. That's how I personally see it, but yeah.
So does love live here?
Yeah.
I think it does.
It does.
It does. There's different kinds of love. So in some sort of way it lives here. It's just people being able to learn how to embrace it, how to expand on it, and how to make it deeper rooted, if that makes sense. It's just a way of learning. It's a learning curve. I think people just need to understand it a bit more, because like I said, there's more than one. Learn which each one's about, and in general it has a main concept. So yeah, I think it's there.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Can I just get your name and your email address so that if I need to contact you for anything, I can do that?
My name's Leonie, and my email is leoniebromfield@hotmail.co.uk.
Thank you, Leonie.
And my name's Nicole Rossi, and my email is nicolerossi@hotmail.co.uk.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Very much for your participation.
No, thank you very much.
After reading the opening statement, what are your thoughts about that, sis?
Well, first of all, the first thing that made me laugh, have black girls lost the plot? No, we haven't, because I'm one who hasn't lost the plot. I'm very grounded. I think the generation before me has somewhat helped destroy the unity of black women. I believe, you know, for me, I know that my grandmothers, when they came into this country, they looked after their grandchildren, they helped their children. You know, we don't have that anymore. So us that have come after, the next generation, we are following the way the Western world has become. That's why, again, we looked at the script and it answers about, it talks about fakeness. Let's look at that. You look on the TV, you've got the Rihannas, you've got the Beyoncés, you've got all these black celebrities that are bleaching their skin, straightening their nose, making their hair longer and blonder. So our younger generation, they don't have anyone to gravitate towards. Before you gravitate towards your grandmother, your mother, now we're gravitating towards celebrities. So maybe if a lot of the parents out there switched off the TV and put a book in front of their children, maybe we wouldn't be seeing so much of this. So again, I'm going to stand up for the sisters that haven't lost the plot. We are out there. We do exist. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that.
So what would you also, what's your opinion about the love? Where is the love seen in the black community? In your opinion, do you think it's there?
It is there. Again, it is there. You've got, let's talk about single mothers. I know many that are playing the mother, or the role of the mother and the father. And their children are doing good because they're standing strong. And the love is there. I know women that discipline their sons very well and educate their sons on how to treat a woman, how to be a man. The love is there. But at the same time, again, there's a confusion. People today are confused with loving material rather than loving themselves. So that's where the problem is. But the love is there. Let's not deny and take that out of the equation. It does exist. But first of all, again, more of us need to learn to love ourselves. We don't do that enough.
And do you think that as a young black woman, it's easy or hard to find love?
In a man? In all honesty, again, it goes back to loving self. You gotta love yourself, because whatever you're projecting out is what's gonna come back to you. So I believe, personally, if we're going to talk about relationships and love, a woman today, a young black woman today, her aspirations and her goals and her plans in life have to be high. Especially as a black woman, you've got to have a huge outlook for your future. If you are working towards that, the right man will gravitate towards you. If you are limiting yourself to a particular type of lifestyle, then you're going to attract that kind of guy. So again, it goes back to self. It's about loving yourself and knowing what you're actually putting out there. That will attract the right partner. There are good black men out there. I'm not going to say that there isn't, because they are out there. And they are looking for good black women. But more of us have to love ourselves in order for us to accept the love from the man.
Okay, sis, thanks very much for that. Could you just state your name and your email?
I'm Shireen Gow, and you can get me on Shireen, spelled SHREENRG@hotmail.co.uk.
And thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That was what.
Yes, sis. So after reading that opening discussion just there on that paper, what are your views?
Well, it's a lot, but if I break it down, I remember a part of it that stuck out to me. It said that sisters are looking too fake and they have a distorted image. I think that at the end of the day, it is hard. I'm not going to judge. You know, we all want to look good, you know. But at the end of the day, we have to think about what is that look and what is that image. And a lot of the time, I work with young people, I mentor people, and I look at them and I just think to myself, do you know what, less is more. Do you understand me? Like, you've got a full face of makeup on, you've got fake eyelashes on, you've got fake nails, you've got fake hair, you know, it's all fake. What is underneath that? What has caused you to get to that stage where you feel like you have to do all of that? I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing, but how do you feel without it? Because I think we've all been through a certain stage. I've worn weave, I wear makeup, but it's about doing it in a way where you're enhancing your natural beauty rather than masking up who you really are. So I think that that's a cause for concern. And I think in terms of black men dating black women, or even dating white women, if a black girl is trying to look like a white girl, she might say she's not, but you've got hair in that is European. It doesn't even blend with your hair, which annoys me, but we won't go there. But do you understand what I'm saying? It's long. Like, you got fake lashes on that are straight. Like, that's like a European, innit? Like, you wear your matte foundation that's 2 shades lighter than what you are. You're bleaching your skin. The way, do you understand what I mean? So in a sense that you're emulating a white woman or a European woman or a Brazilian or whoever, a mulatto even. And to me, that shows that you don't love what you really represent. Loose out the afro, innit? Embrace the blackness. I think dark-skinned people are beautiful, personally, but so that's the issue. But then you're upset when you see somebody dating a white girl or a mixed-race girl. So I don't know. It's an enigma. It's difficult. So I think that we have to address how we feel about ourselves and change what we deem as beautiful before we can come together. And once again, even black men, I think if you see a sister trying to embrace her natural beauty, you know, she doesn't have a face full of makeup, she has the afro out, she's trying to think, it might not even be working entirely, but big her up, say, yes, if you look nice, don't laugh at her, don't make a mockery of her. End of the day, she's trying. So I think we just need to encourage each other a lot more love, peace and hair grease.
So what is your opinion in terms of relationships and how we go about our relationships as a black woman and a black man together?
Relationships. So obviously the family unit has been broken down. That is something that has happened over a long period of time. If we want to go back to the Willie Lynch letter, it's something that's been indoctrinated, that to fragment that unit, because in that unit there's a lot of power, so that has always been the aim, to separate black man and black woman at the end of the day. And although we live in a patriarchal society, in the black community it's a lot of matriarchy, strong black women, women go to university, women have got the good jobs, women have got the homes, women have got the benefits, women are doing the thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in a sense, sometimes black men feel a way about that because they feel like, well, you know, the black women are doing the thing. And then in a sense, sometimes black women, we forget ourselves. Yes, we might be in a better position, but that doesn't mean we have to look down on a black man and start to talk to them in a certain way, belittling them, emasculate your man. If you emasculate your man and you treat him in a certain way, and how can you expect him to be masculine and run his household and feel good about himself? So I think those are things that we need to look at. Those are some of the issues that we're facing, and I think a lot of times that can breed hostility in a relationship. You belittle your man, you talk to him in a certain way, you run your mouth, he can't handle it. Violence ends up breaking out. Do you understand what I'm saying? A man will hit his woman because he doesn't know how to, like, make her pipe down or make her cool off. You're acting like a man and he's going to treat you like a man. I'm not condoning violence and I'm not saying that that's right, but I can understand and I can see how these issues and these things happen. So I think we really have to look about how we relate to each other and realise that this system has been built in a certain way to make us against each other, but we need to rather help each other, fortify each other, become one again. And yeah.
So, what do you think are the solutions or strategies that are needed in order to create that balance and you know, the love within, you know, self and our fellow brothers and, you know, sisters together as a unit?
I think that knowing your history is important, not just slavery. No, obviously that's a big part of it, and the diaspora of black people is something that we can't deny. But looking beyond that, looking at what we did, looking at our successes, drawing on people in our community are doing great and good things, so we can have a sense of pride. Because I think if you were proud of your blackness, and you associated your blackness and your black heritage with something good, that would make you automatically love yourself, because you would see that you came from greatness. If you believe that you come from greatness, then that cultivates a certain feeling within yourself, and that feeling is going to make you love yourself. And as you start to love yourself, it's going to become contagious. Your sister, your brother, your mother, they're going to see that. They're going to see that light in you. And I think for the black man and black woman, we need to be more understanding. We need to be, it all starts with communication. We need to let go of our ego. We need to sit down and talk about how we really feel. Forget about, oh, this is long, I can't be bothered, I don't want to talk about my feelings. You need to get in your feelings, and we need to talk to each other. We need to have a little bit more respect. I think black women, love your man, respect him, acknowledge that he is a man. And I think for black men, respect and love your woman, and treat your woman like she's your family member. If she was your mother, your sister, your daughter, how would you deal with her? That's how you need to deal with your woman.
Do you think that there are a lot of examples of strong black relationships in your community? Do you see them?
Truthfully, I would like to say I do. I do see them because they do exist, but they're not as dominant as I might want them to be. It's not as prevalent. We don't see it enough, but they are there. You know, you see a black couple, they're doing good things, you know, they're working at it, they've got their kids, they're in the matrimonial home. It does exist, but it's not common.
Okay. And can you just state your name and your email address so that if we need to contact you, that we can do that?
I'm Nola Sterling, and my email is miss_Sterling13@hotmail.com.
Thank you very much, sis. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you. You're welcome.
If you could just give us your feedback on the status of what you've just read.
I believe it's a stereotypical statement on black women. I believe that black women are being victimised, and I believe that black women make it hard for themselves with the way they act and behave and things that they do. But in the same breath, I don't think we can blame black women, because media has a lot to answer to. And I know everyone says, okay, media, but everyone has their own mind. But I do believe that if you've been drilled to watch something or listen to something your whole life, you will emulate that whether you like it or not. If you're not taught how to love yourself and know yourself, the actions you do will portray that. So yeah, I do believe that black women, we are strong, but it's a matter of owning up to our strength and knowing how to use our strength, not to be too strong, not to be too weak. It's that balance that us black women have to find. So yeah, in terms of the youth and young black girls, I am all on social media. I hate social media. I hate the media when it comes to that, and I know hate is a strong word, but I think that it's hard for a young black girl growing up in today's society, and the black girls that I've come across, they feel so pressured to be something that they're not. So they do things even though they don't want to do it, but they feel that that's the way they have to be, and that's through social media. They can't go out their house looking without no makeup or without their hair did up because someone's taking a picture and it's all around the place. And to be an outcast in society now, for them, they don't want to do that. They want to be part of the crowd rather than, you know, the odd one out. So I blame it on social media, media in general, and parents.
Question for you, it's kind of touched on in there as well. Do you think, in fact I think it's in the video, do you think that when black men are with black women, they treat them
Sorry, when black men are with white women, do you think they treat them differently if the woman was black?
From what I've seen, I have seen that. I've seen many black men with black women, and then they go over on the other side and say, okay, white woman is where it's at. And I've seen a black man blowing his hot white girlfriend because she was hot. He was literally blowing her. And I knew him from before, where he was so rough and rugged and treated his girlfriend like garbage. So when I saw that, I just thought, okay, so you couldn't wife and empress your black woman, but this white woman, you put her on this pedestal. And it's hard for a black woman to see that, because now that woman, my friend, is now thinking her down, am I not good enough? Am I not good enough to be blown? I just wanted the basics, and he couldn't do that, but yet she's hot and standing at a bus stop and he's blowing her. So yeah, I do believe so. Unfortunately, they do.
And going further on that, what do you think that's for? Why do you think that is?
I couldn't say specifics. What I could say is, with men, I think because we ask for it, they don't want to give it. I don't know. I don't have many white friends or white women friends, so I don't know if they ask for it. But if it's not asked for, I think the men will give it to you. But if something you constantly want and yearn and ask for, they just feel pressured into giving it to you, so they shut down to the idea. But if it's not asked for, oh, I'm going to treat her nicely, I'm going to blow on her, I'm going to take her to dinner, I'm going to get a job. But because black women are just like, you should have a job, you should be doing this. They expect a certain level of something because they have a man. But a white woman, maybe, I'm just saying this, maybe they don't ask for it, maybe they don't expect anything from a man, so maybe that's it. God knows, don't quote me.
No worries. One last point.
Yes.
You mentioned media. So I was going to say, do you think maybe the social pressures we have as black people in general have impacted how we have engagements with each other as well?
Yeah, to a certain degree. I just think black people are so far separated. I was talking to my friends earlier today, we were saying once black people realise we all come from the same place, nothing will separate us. But because we distinguish ourselves in so many different cultures, and I'm light skin, you're dark skin, I'm African, you're even Somali, there's so many labels put on us, but at the end of the day, we're still Nubians, because I hate black. We still come from Africa. So once we all have that common ground and understand we have that common ground, media or nothing else should be able to come between that. So
lovely. I'm happy. So, is there anything else you want to add, or are you good?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
So if you could just say your email address on camera to us as well, just so we can keep you posted and add you 20 million.
Okay. This is Tammy from Excel Empresses, and you can get me at tammy@excelempressesmentoring.com.
Give thanks.
Do you live locally, Tammy?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Recently moved.
Because I was told that here they've got a space available in the day for parents who are like homeschooling or just looking after children. And obviously, with what you do, they may be interested in having you come in and give talks. Is that something that you're open to do?
Yeah, most definitely.
Great.
Yeah.
Have you got a card?
I haven't got a card. I'm professional.
You're still recording me though? Yeah, I am.
You're still recording me.
And I'm so camera
So, Tammy, could you explain what Excel Empress is and what it does?
Okay. Excel Empresses is an organisation for girls. It's, thank you very much. The organisation runs for 5-year-olds to 19-year-olds. The idea behind that is a transitional programme. We don't just leave you in your teenage years, or we don't just want you in your teenage years. We want you throughout. So you'll have a body of people supporting you as you grow up. The idea, when you become 19 years old and you've gone through a program through Excel, you can then give back and then do the cycle again, where you can then mentor my daughter. I've got a 5-year-old, so you can then be her mentor and her big sister and help raise her. So rather than just a mother and a father or the home raising the child, it will be a community of sisters raising that woman.
Beautiful. We so need that.
Most definitely. Michelle, stop recording.
I'm just mesmerised by the face.
Oh my gosh,
you just said it. Start by expressing your opinion on what you've just read, and then I'll kind of prompt you a bit more with a few more questions.
What I just read, there's lots of stuff in the different captions that I saw that were relevant, that I could relate to, that I might have thought more one way than before. In particular, black men not holding black sisters' hands, but quick to hold a white woman's hand. I used to sing that from the rooftop. I say used to because my whole ideology in regards of it is somewhat changed a piece. Rather than bringing the anger that I would bring to it before with that statement, I kind of flipped flipped it around a piece. Do you understand? Like, I'm quick more to celebrate a black brother than before. I'd be like, look at him, what? Let's do this, and quick to go and bring in the white girl, and you know what I mean? And rather than necessarily even dogging down a white woman now, I'm not so quick to do that as I was once before. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, do your thing, and I understand you got good taste, but try and allow a black brother, you know? Like, they're on short supply. Sorry, but I'm just being real. In regards of rape amongst black youths, yeah, on the rise. It has been on the rise for a little while now. And it's something that has startled me from way back. And to be honest, when I was talking about it, not many people were, you know, discussing it. It was like it was unheard of. So the fact that it's even on the piece of paper, I'm like, yeah, this is the kind of stuff we do need to make people more aware of. Because it's not just girls who need to watch how they're moving or be on the guard. It's also the boys. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we need to open up these levels of awareness for people to know how to conduct and be more alert. So yeah, those were the two main ones for me.
Nice one. What do you think of the current state of play between black relationships?
Sorry, the current state of play. I went to the Caribbean recently, and I always said when I was here in the UK that my king will find me. Because before I was a very strong, confident, loud, because I saw that under the captions, black sisters who, I would say I'm very confident, you know what I mean? I've got my little shy points about me, but I am a confident, strong one, and 9 times out of 10, it usually either frightens people away or they know where they stand. That's just P. But in regards of here, I was like, black men in the UK, kind of like, it's really bad to say, because as much as I said what I said earlier, I'm a little disappointed. To the ones that the majority of the brothers, I'm a bit disappointed. Not saying that there ain't no strong black brothers out there, but in regards of the unity of patience and really going through struggles together and representing that unity, like, the numbers are low. However, when I went Caribbean now, my king found me. I was playing with about 40 beautiful children who I didn't even know, being in St. Kitts for about a week. And in the time that I was there, my black brother heard my voice, saw me, and the next day, September the 21st, 2013, my king literally found me. So for me, I'm like, it took to fly over waters, and there was somebody out there who appreciated a black sister for her just being herself and doing what she does with the presence that she's got. And he's really calm, you know what I mean? And I appreciated that calmness, and he appreciated the ambition and the knowledge that I was sharing with him, do you know what I mean? It wasn't a thing was like, she's too powerful, she's competition. You know, I've been out with artists. I don't want no artists, very egotistical, yeah, serious, and it's not a competitive field. Too often than not, the black love, it's like a battlefield, it's competitive, and I've always been a breadwinner, so I've always been a woman who's been a hustler, you know, from illegal to legal. And for me, it's one of these ones where I don't know any other way. So rather than a black brother see you as an opportunity, or, you know, like being like, wow, making all the cream, or just sitting back and not thinking he has to contribute, I'm just like, I just want to see that team. So on one hand, I'm like, I'm an optimist, because I can't give up on black love. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it would be nice for us both to celebrate just being a unit, one.
Nice. And last question, what do you think that we can do as individuals to change the status of black relationships?
Deal with ourselves first. Stop going to search for love until you know your internal landscape. You know what I mean? More often than not, people are looking for Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, and keep getting Mr. Wrong. Listen, I'm not necessarily a religious person, but I'm spiritual. One day I went into a church, yeah? When I feel like I want to go church, yeah? So I was here, because I'm about that. And I went to church, and this pastor turned around and said, a woman prayed one day for her husband. And the first man that came along, she was like, yes, he come through the church. She was like, that's my man. And she grabbed him and she gravitated and they had something. But was he the right man? No. But because she had no patience, she went for the first opportunity thinking that her prayer was delivered, rather than really examining or really taking that time of getting to know. So my thing is, sometimes we can pray and we can want, but it doesn't mean we have to be desperate. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to examine, but more importantly, we have to know ourselves first and know what we really, really want. Because sometimes we might just take any old strays. And sometimes you may be the stray. And we have to be real about that, do you know what I mean? Because that's the thing. Love is one of these things that people just crave to the point it's like an addiction. Everybody wants love. It's even worse than crack and heroin, because if people don't get love, it's one of the most destructive. People will kill themselves over this stuff. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't love yourself, you will do that. Because people, the amount of people who've been rejected from the home because they never got that home love is another thing. So what we need to do, we need to know ourselves first and foremost, really know our internal landscape, and bottom line of it is, make sure you have the responsibility to respond to anything that comes our way. The ability to respond, responsibility. You understand what I'm saying? And that's me, Peaches, and that's my message to people, saying it's a fix up, Yorkshire, know thyself. Yeah, that's it.
Love it. Thank you very
Bless
much.
you.
Yeah, actually, if you could just say your email on the camera as well, please.
All right, you can get at me at Peaches Presents for the Twitter, and my email is peachesceo@gmail.com. And love is just a verb. They have all my details and can do whatever they want about it, because I know they're not doing no fraud thing.
Give thanks. Ashe.
Bless you. Ashe.
Ashe. Let's press this again. Things, come on. So what's your opinion? What? You lot are... No, we're doing our box pot at the moment.
No,
we're doing our interview. You can't do it. She's changed her mind.
Well, what is your perception of watching this video? Like, what's your feedback, like what you get from it? Are you recording? Sorry, what's that? Good.
It is.
My perception of the recording, I quite like to hear a man's perception of, because as a female you don't always get to hear the real truth about what a man's really thinking and what he's really seeing, so it's nice to kind of get, and even though he only touched on the surface, you can actually hear that he's got a lot more passion and depth to what he actually wants to kind of really open up with. So for me personally, that makes me want to know more.
Okay. And what do you think about specifically what he was saying about relationships, as in, especially between black relationships, the relationships between the male and the female is not always so in harmony. What's your perception on that, or your view on that?
I think what it is over a period of time, women, not just black women, but maybe predominantly more so with like ethnic women, I'd say in total, because you've got black women, Indian women, but as a whole, because of maybe the power struggle that in comparison to white women, the power struggle that women of colour have had to face has made them maybe unbalance themselves slightly, so they're pushing so much harder to be heard, so much harder to get equal pay, equal rights and all the rest of it. It's also affecting their relationships as well, because where you're becoming this woman who you're trying to be a strong woman in your career, in your life, and then slightly maybe over dominating in a relationship and forgetting the balance of man and woman, because for me it's very important to have a balance. Man is man and woman is woman, so I will be a strong woman, but I need to have my strong man. But also where you've got the decline of strong men, women, if that, you know, you've got equilibrium all the time, so the balance, the shift. So where you've got this power shift of the soft, or what you call the moist men, you've got these strong women having to replace them weak men. So they've had to
many women have had to do the role of fathers, they've had to do the role of brothers, they've had to do the role of the provider. A man originally was the provider and the woman was the nurturer. Now the woman is becoming the nurturer, the provider, the support system. She's got to be everything, so she has to be this strong, hardcore woman. But it's also, for me personally, I think that it's also a bitterness that hasn't left some women from generations and generations, and they pass that on to their kids. So instead of women becoming more assertive, they're becoming more aggressive. So as he said, they're too loud sometimes, but it's that power struggle that, you know, generations have had to face, and it's having that effect where instead of us educating ourselves and saying this is the struggle we had to face and this is how we're supposed to manifest this energy that we've got, it's slightly getting a bit misconstrued. And because maybe the media or society as a whole kind of put a negative spin on that energy, we take it on. It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. You take on board what the external kind of energy is as well. So that's my humble opinion.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you
And
so
I think
much.
that was a brilliant response, and unless you have anything else you want to say, I think that really sums up perfectly what the documentary is about. So
excellent.
We're happy with what you've given.
I don't know, final comments is just, for me personally, like I said, there has to be a balance with man and woman, but it's also a woman really owning her queen within herself and a man stepping up to his king role, because without king and queen, you're not going to have, you know, you're just going to be the pawns, and the pawns are the loud ones, and the pawns are the ones who are getting misrepresented or misrepresenting the whole society. So step up to your king role, step up to your queen role and take the ownership. And it's all right, women, it's all right to be submissive sometimes, you know, it's all right to step back, it's all right to let the man take charge, because that's actually his role. And, you know, I think we'll have much healthier relationships once we understand that. It took me a long time, I'm in my 30s now, it took me a long time to understand that, because I was always in that power struggle, because I had to be in control and I'm the boss. But now that I understand it, for me, I think it's something inside me feels better as well, to say, you know what, man is man, woman is woman, and let me own that as well.
Can I ask, what do you think needs to be done in order to change mindsets?
I think we need to start educating ourselves. I think we need to start as families coming together, as people coming together. There needs to be a bit more unity in the community, because right now there's just a lot of and the unity's kind of been lost. So us as sisters, we don't communicate properly with each other. Our brothers don't communicate properly with each other, and we don't communicate with the opposite sex properly. So communication needs to really step up, and we need to actually be honest. Instead of fighting all the time about fighting for what we want, let's kind of communicate to get what we want, because the communication is the only way it's going to move forward, to be honest with you. But again, it's just my humble opinion, and that's all I can share.
Yeah. Can you just say your name on camera?
Yes, my name is Lady Titi.
Lovely, nice to meet you.
What is this document? Does love live here? Oh,
yeah, so you've got
my name's Lady Titi. Does love live here? That's what we want to know.
Very
Thank you so
good.
much.
Would you be interested in maybe being filmed again, like properly on camera? Because we will be doing different vox pops, and because of what you said, I generally think it would be really good to have your opinion. So if you could just say your email address on camera as well, so that means the director is not myself. He can actually contact you.
Yeah, David's got my phone number as well.
You've already got. If David knows you already, that's fine.
Yeah.
No worries. That's perfect.
But ladytt.official@gmail.com.
Thank you.
You can see it says record.
Okay.
See the red, and then
Yeah.
press it to finish.